All right, welcome into this LEX 18 post-game wrap-up as Kentucky knocks off Vanderbilt 82-61, getting them paybacks for that earlier loss down in Nashville where they stormed the court. Of course, that doesn't happen at Rupp Arena, and it won't happen at Rupp Arena, so we did not see that. The one thing we did see, I believe, is maybe a new backup point guard. Colin Chandler was incredible. Yeah, first guy off the bench. He has 7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, and 2 steals. I thought 2 turnovers was low for the amount of minutes he played and the position he was playing. So I thought he did very well, especially defensively.
7 points, his new career high. Previous high was 6 points against Jackson State all the way back in November. Yeah. So certainly a good night for Colin Chandler. The other thing we saw, Otega Oweh leading the way for Kentucky once again as he has some offensive here. He made me look very smart because pregame I said, what did I say?
You said he's got to do it early, right? And he did that.
He was the only cat in double figures at halftime. He had 11 before the break, finished with 20. It's the 8th time this season he has hit that 20-point mark and was huge for Kentucky in the first and second.
Yeah, I thought he was big. I thought Andrew Carr kind of came on as the game went on. He really started to get it going inside as the crowd's getting excited here. Everybody's seeing Ansley Almanor come over. He was 1 point away from making, 5 players in double figures? It was 4 players in double figures with, of course, Otega Oweh leading the way with 20 points, 17 for Amari Williams. Did he get the double-double?
No, I don't
He did not. Only 6 rebounds, right? So, 17 for him, 11 for Andrew Carr. Again, he came on late. And then Kobe Brea with 12. And did most of his damage from deep, but he did have that one nice drive where he also was fouled on the shot. So, great game by the Cats. I said they had to get out in transition. I felt like they didn't necessarily run and look for that quick layup, but I did think they got it across midcourt much faster, got into the offense quicker, which gave them more time to find the right person for the shot.
Obviously, you can see that we are looking at the box score.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I think when you do look at the box score, something I thought I was going to see was Kentucky dominating down low, because I felt like Amari Williams and Andrew Carr, especially in the second half, Vandy really had no answer for those 2 guys. And yet, they didn't. Vandy actually had more points in the paint. I think some of that is the fact that Vandy's guards were able to drive through the lane, cut through traffic a little bit more, get some more easy layups at the basket. But for Kentucky, the big men were really more physical in the paint than we've seen in quite some time, specifically for Andrew Carr, who we know is battling back injuries. He really looks like the Andrew Carr of old, I thought, tonight.
Good to see him back in the starting lineup, too. I think that probably has a little different feel for a player when he's used to coming into the starting lineup. And then after the back troubles, he was off on the bench coming in, when he could, playing what minutes he could. But I think he seemed, as I said, to get into the flow later in the game. 22 points off the bench for the Wildcats as well. Only 8 points on fast breaks. Again, I don't think they were looking for a quick hitter, but they were definitely getting some shots to fall once they got the offense going. I thought defensively, they played pretty well. Vanderbilt definitely didn't shoot it as well in the second half, but a lot of that had to do with the defense that the Wildcats were playing for sure.
Definitely. Kentucky back in the positive when you look at the assist to turnover ratio. That was good to see, and that really helps them get back in the win column. Obviously, everyone was disappointed with the weekend performance in Austin. This helps set up some good mojo for another big weekend coming up as Kentucky travels to Tuscaloosa to take on the 4th-ranked Crimson Tide. Obviously, we've been calling this week Revenge Week. Kentucky didn't have any revenge to really make before tonight. The only other team that they would have played twice is Tennessee, and they swept the Volunteers. This was their first chance at getting that taste of revenge, getting a loss off their mind, getting a win over the Commodores. They have the chance to do the same thing this Saturday against Alabama.
Could be another big win for the Wildcats in that quad one that they've been so successful in all season. Wildcats lost here 102-97 earlier this season here in Rupp Arena. That game on Saturday at 6 o'clock. So we'll definitely have our eyes on that one, making sure that Wildcats try and get at least the season split between the two, right? So big time for the Wildcats if they can get that done.
Big time. And a big time win tonight. 21 points?
Yes.
Is that right?
21 points, yes.
82-61. Had to double check there. It's, you sit down here on the court, so way up top. So I spent this in the TV running down. I'm like, what is the final score? 82-61. Yeah. We're waiting for our player of the game, who we always get after a Kentucky game here at home. That'll be coming your way on Media Insight this week. Don't know who it's going to be yet, but if you have any suggestions, anybody you want to hear from, any questions you want us to ask, leave those in the comments.
And the Wildcats now, again, another positive. We said they got to build up some wins here. They're now 7-6 in the SEC as they try and at least get that one bye in the SEC tournament coming up that first full week of March. Or second full week, sorry.
Well, listen, postseason's getting closer. It's crazy to say. I was thinking about this writing the game article, which if you haven't read it, go check that out, lex18.com, no shameless plug. And it's really winding down. I mean, we just said they play Alabama on the road this Saturday. They're not back on this court until the following Saturday when this little team called the #1 team in the country, the Auburn Tigers, come to town. And that's really almost the end of the regular season. There's one game in between, one more game after that. And really, otherwise, this thing's almost over.
That game against Auburn could be a lot of fun because it's also Alumni Day for the UK basketball team. You can see a lot of faces coming back here, maybe especially from that 1996 team. Could be a lot of fun. So we'll see who all shows up to help support the Wildcats. And that one, of course, before that, they got to worry about Alabama.
In the TV business, we call that a team. Great job.
Thank you.
Leaving people wanting more. I think that'll do it for us.
I think so. We've got an interview coming our way pretty soon, so we'll get ready for that.
Well, thanks so much to everybody who joined us. We will be like this with you for as many games as we can this year, before the game, after the game. So make it a habit. Join us here on the LEX18 Facebook page, as well as on TikTok and YouTube. Keith Farmer, I'm Maggie Davis. Thanks for joining us. So long from Lexington.